Hey guys, what's up? Molly here and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a get ready with me, and along the way I will be just like talking about my life and giving you guys kind of a life update because I've been super MIA lately and there's just been a lot of things happening. So yeah, I'm just gonna talk to you guys about it. Starting off with my Visanti Liquid VO2 color corrector to get rid of my dark circles, which I have a lot of. But yeah, I am headed out today to an event, and I haven't been to a launch party in like a really long time, just because I've been so my life has been so hectic with like moving out. I'm so happy we're finally like moved into our house though. Next, I'm going to use the Mcgrath Skin Fetish foundation in medium 16. It feels really nice to finally be like somewhat settled in. We're not fully settled into the house yet, but everything was pretty much put on hold in my life because I was moving and everything was like in different houses. But yeah, I've talked about this kind of before. My parents' house, like my bedroom at my parents' house, was really small, and that's what I was working out of when I first started Ready to Glow. And it was fine at first, but it was just way too small as my business grew, and I just like couldn't work out of there anymore. And then I started working. My sister actually moved out into her own house this year as well, so I started moving my shit to her house and working out of a room in her like place. But it was just getting really hectic going back and forth between the two houses. I felt like I wasn't being as productive, and I felt like the growth of my business was just like being so stagnant. So I just like really couldn't wait to move out and finally be here and have a full room to myself where I can wake up in the morning and just like walk over and do my makeup and film it like I am doing now. I'm applying the Benefit Boing Cakeless Concealer in number 7. But yeah, getting back into it, I didn't realize how much work moving actually is, because I was like, oh, I don't really have that much stuff. I only have like what's in my bedroom and that's about it. But there was a lot going on. Like, we had, a lot of you guys know, I had my house under renovation. We just wanted it to really feel like home to us, so we did a few things to change up what our house looked like. And especially because I am a content creator and this is what I do full time, I wanted like every part of our house to be Instagrammable, if that makes sense. Like, I wanted to be able to create content in every part of our house, and like that's the vibe that I get from it now, and it makes me really happy. I wanted it to be a mix of like who we are like as a couple and what we enjoy and like our style, and also make it like picture worthy, because I am shooting a lot of content within this house, and I feel like my backgrounds are getting really boring because I was always just in front of a white wall, which is like funny to say because I'm in front of a white wall right now, but that's because things aren't fully done yet. I'm just trying to be patient with things because I know it's gonna come with time, and I know I'll be able to get to that point. So I'm really grateful for all of it. I'm super happy right now. Another problem that I was having was I was not sleeping properly, just because I was like so stressed out with everything that was happening, and I was trying my best not to stress out, which is probably why I've been so MIA on my socials, because I was like, I don't really need the stress of like trying to keep up with Instagram right now and YouTube right now. And like it just deteriorate my health. I've been through that process before, and I've let it get the best of me, and it was just not fun, and I just got so many health problems out of it. So I really just was like, for this whole thing, I need to take a step back and just really take care of myself. I'm also using the Mcgrath powder as well. But yeah, I just really wanted to focus on one thing at a time. I didn't want to overwork myself because like it just doesn't result in anything good for me personally. Like I've been down that path before and it's absolutely destroyed my mental health and my physical health too. So I was just like, this time around, I need to take things one thing at a time and not feel so pressured to, I guess, like overperform. I've slowly started to learn that things come with time and I can't rush everything and I can't overwork myself, because if I do and I'm in no good health anymore, then what good is that in the future? Like, it's not going to do anything for me. So, you know, I guess like as a person, I've always felt like, oh, I'm running out of time, I got to get everything done. And I've always been like that, and I've always pressured myself. I've like never really felt good. I've never really felt, yeah, like good enough sometimes, which is, I guess, hard to say, but slowly and surely this past year, I've really started to learn and like have this like epiphany that I am good enough and I need to stop pressuring myself, because look what it's done to me in the past. And I do want to make a video about my anxiety and depression and that journey that I went through and kind of what I got out of it very soon, so you guys understand my thought process of how I kind of got to this point. It took me a really long time to get to this point. It took a lot of like self-reflecting and really being patient with myself, which was so hard to do at times, but I finally gotten to this point and I feel much, much happier. I also, like, when I get stressed, I don't sleep, so that's another thing that really affects me. And I, like, the past like 2 months, like I just like hadn't really been sleeping properly, and although I was doing whatever I could to stay relaxed, like subconsciously when I slept, it was still there. And like, I'm obviously not perfect at, you know, taking things slow yet. Like, it comes with time and practice. So it's nice that consciously, like, I'm there and I can control it a little bit more and feel a little bit more relaxed. But subconsciously, like, my brain just like works away, especially when I'm trying to sleep. So I just like was not sleeping properly. I would wake up with headaches every morning. I felt really groggy all the time. I just like constantly needed naps because like I was so low in energy. So yeah, that was another reason I've been like kind of MIA on my socials, because I just like I wasn't feeling up to par either. I was just so overtired. I feel like Vicar and I haven't really gotten a break. I'm so terrible. I keep forgetting to tell you guys what products I've been using. So this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in chocolate that I just filled my eyebrows with. I'm gonna use the Mcgrath Mothership palette. This palette is absolutely stunning. Like, literally the perfect palette for the fall, and it's what I've been using recently a lot. Anyways, I've also had the pleasure of breaking out into rashes around my eyes because of all the dust that's been around us. So my parents' house was actually under a renovation while I was living there, and then this house was under renovation as well. So there was renos going on everywhere, and it was so dusty and gross all the time, and my skin was just not having it. Like, it's just so irritated and my eyes are so itchy. So I've been avoiding wearing makeup too for that reason, but I'm obviously putting on makeup now because I am headed out. But yeah, I haven't even been doing like heavy makeup at all. I've been really avoiding eyeliner and lashes and things just because my skin's just too irritated right now and I can't be bothered. Hopefully that goes away. It has been getting better, so that's a good thing. It just, I guess, needs also some time. It's funny because you think like once you make this big step, like in my head when I was like moving out, I was like, oh, like everything's just gonna come together and this is gonna be perfect and I'm gonna start working right away and it's gonna be awesome. And that is so not the case. I don't know why I was even thinking that. Like, it clearly isn't realistic, but I don't know, you just like have this, like, I guess, fantasy in your head. And it's been kind of tough because I'm like, man, I really want to get back into working, but there's so many other things that I need to do, especially now as like a house owner. It just comes with so many more responsibilities, and there's so many things like that we still need to get done. Like, there's lights that we still need to put in, we still need to go buy furniture, we're still in the middle of planning our wedding. So there's just a lot that's on the go right now. With that being said, I'm trying my best to keep up with content at this point. I'm hoping that I can, but I do feel like I am getting back into it, which makes me happy. It was so helpful to have an interior designer through this whole process. Like, Pyle was our savior through this whole like renovation, moving process, blah, 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 because she took care of a lot of things. I felt like with this wedding happening and moving out at the same time, like, I don't know, things were getting really hectic and I felt really overwhelmed, and Pyle was just like there to rescue us, basically. She took care of a lot of the renovation stuff that we needed to like figure out. Obviously, like, we were part of the process in major ways, like we were making the decisions, but she would like give us options and we would just be like yes or no. And then like when things went wrong, she would take care of a lot of it. There was points where we were also like heavily involved, but for the most part, she was like super like great at just handling things without us having to deal with any of it, which made our lives so much easier. I felt like we pretty much got the keys like to the house July 15th, and we were moved in by the first week of September with all these renovations done and stuff like that. And at this point, like, I don't even think we started planning like what we wanted to do with the renovations and all that stuff until like pretty much like mid to end of June, which is crazy. Like, I felt like that all happened so fast. And I genuinely don't think that would have happened without Pyle, because like me and Vic are both new homeowners. Like, we've never done this before and we don't know the process. So I know it would have taken us longer to like pick stuff out and plan this out way better. But because of her, it was just made so easy for us. I am using the Lancome Monsieur Big mascara to do this. I can't even talk while I'm doing my mascara, so just give me a second. Anyways, enough about the process of moving out. I want to talk a little bit about actually moving in and what it's like. I'm just going to tell you guys everything that I'm going to use for the rest of my like cheeks and whatever, so that I can just like continue talking throughout. So I'm going to use the NYX Bear With Me Hydrating Cheek Tint in Detox Me, the Laura Geller Baked Gelato Swirl Illuminator in Gilded Honey, and the, where is it? Marc Jacobs Tantalizer Bronzer. So moving out has been absolutely phenomenal. Now keep in mind, like, we've only been living together for a couple weeks now, and we obviously don't know each other, like each other's living habits that well, because it like all hasn't come out yet. But for the most part, I'm absolutely loving living with Vikra. It's really nice to have that positive energy around you all the time, and have someone around you that like constantly uplifts you and is like your best friend, and you feel like you can talk to them all the time. And it's such a different change from when I lived at my parents' house. And not like, this is not to like bash my parents or anything like that, but like, you don't feel like you can always be yourself around your parents like that. So at home, I always felt like I needed to be a certain way. I never felt like I could live freely without being like judged all the time. And so like now I feel like I can live freely and wake up to someone that constantly encourages me and is constantly like, I guess, just like my biggest supporter. So that is like a massive change that I've noticed, which has helped me, I guess, just sleep better at night as well. Wow, this is the first time using this highlighter. It is stunning. But yeah, it like helps me sleep better at night. Definitely, I feel a lot more, I guess, loved in this house. Not like, I feel bad saying that because it's not like my parents didn't love me or like I had this like terrible time at my parents' house. It was just a different energy, and I know that my parents and I like vibed at different levels sometimes. We didn't always understand each other, and I love them to death, and I know they love me to death too, but we didn't always see eye to eye on certain things. So just like living with someone that I feel like understands what you're like and how you function and really understands your goals and dreams and whatever makes such a big difference, like living around that type of energy. And it's also been awesome because one thing I absolutely hated about living, like me and Mcgrath lived maybe like 35 to 40 minutes away from each other, and with the way Toronto traffic is, like it would always end up being like 50 minutes that I would have to drive to see him. And I usually went to go see him just because like the area he lived in had a lot more things to do than the area I lived in, so it only made sense. So yeah, I would always be doing these like long ass drives, and it sucked, especially on the weekdays. Like if I went there on a weekday and he came home from work around like 6 o'clock, like, and I met up with him around 7, like I didn't want to just be there for like an hour and then leave again, because I just drove an hour to see him. So I would always end up like chilling at his place until like 2, 3, 4 in the morning sometimes, and then like drive home after that. And it was just so exhausting, and it really like messed up my schedule all the time too. I felt like, again, for that reason, I wasn't always super productive. And now that we live together, I feel like, oh my God, I'm way more productive because we're together now. I don't need to spend that time driving to go see him. And it's like amazing that I get to go places with him and then come home with him, because that was another really annoying thing. Like if we had a night out together or something like that, or we had to go to a friend's party together or something like that, it was so annoying, like picking him up and then dropping him home and then driving all the way home. Like now we just like go and come together. It's just such a time saver. On my lips, I'm going to rock the NYX brown lip liner, the Lime Crime Velveteen liquid lipstick in Teddy Bear, and then the Dior Lip Maximizer Lip Plumper. It's also so awesome living here too, because it's like, wow, this is mine. Like this is what I worked so hard for. And it's really cool to see all of it come together. It's a really weird feeling having your own, oh my God, having your own house, and decorating it to be your own, because I lived in my parents' house all my life, and I would never decorate my house the way my parents have decorated their house. It's just, I feel like everything's so random, and it's just nice to be able to put something together that you feel like is yours, and to like come home to it every day and be like, this is my home. So that's a really, really cool feeling, seeing all that come together. And it's funny because it's something like I've dreamed about it all my life, obviously. Like I don't think anyone hasn't, whether you're a guy or a girl. Like I'm sure you've always thought about what it's like to finally move out of your parents' house and live on your own, whether you're like married or not. And for me too, like especially, it was one of those things where I've always been curious of who I was gonna marry at the end of the day, and you know, how my life would turn out. And it's really cool to see all of that unfold. Like I've found the guy that I'm gonna live the rest of my life with. We bought our first house together, and it's just, it feels really, really unreal, and it makes me really happy because the last 3 years of my life were kind of rough. I had a lot of things kind of going on personally, and I just like didn't know if I was gonna make it through. And now being in this house and sitting here filming this, and I don't know, just seeing it all come together, it makes me realize, okay, everything is gonna be okay. And going through that process is really what kind of helped my anxiety calm down and help me get out of it, because I kept going and kept going. And I was like, there was so many points where I'm like, I don't know if I can make it. I don't know if this is like gonna happen. I just don't know. And now that it has, and I've seen all of it come together, I don't know, my approach towards anxiety and the way I look at life has really, really changed, because now I feel like, okay, you need to go through hard times to get to the good times, and in order for you to enjoy the good times fully, you need to understand what pain feels like. And that's what kind of, I guess, cured my anxiety and my depression. Like, not that it's like completely gone, but it really gave me a different perspective. Like, sitting in this house, seeing it all come together, it really gave me a different perspective on how good things can really be if you're just patient and you wait and you don't give up on yourself. With all that being said, I'm gonna end that little chit chat off right here. This is my final look. I'm gonna go do my hair and change my clothes and be right back. Alright guys, so this here is the final look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this get ready with me. I do want to start something a little bit different on my channel. I get a lot of random questions about life in general and how I would approach situations and how I got through certain situations. So I would love for you guys to leave some questions about your life that you have, that you need advice on. And as I do my makeup on random days, I'll pick out some questions and just kind of answer them. So instead of a get ready with me and like talking about random stuff, I would do a get ready with me and answer your guys' questions and kind of give you my perspective on how I would go about solving this problem that you have. So if you guys think that's a great idea, leave me some questions below, or just let me know if you would like to see something like that. Yeah, just let me know. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, please do not forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. Honestly, your support means the world to me, so thank you, thank you, thank you for all the love you guys constantly show me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!